What's up, guys? This is Aaron from Great Lakes RC, and the King of Kratons is finally here. So I've been eagerly awaiting this truck for a while now. I think I had it on pre-order for 3 weeks, and then it was an agonizing week for them to process it and ship it to me all the way from California to Michigan. But now that it's here, it's just a beast. It takes up my whole workspace. I already compared it to my 2 other large scale, which is my X-Max and Losi Super Baja Ray. So as you can see from the pictures, the Kraton is the widest, the X-Max is the tallest, but they're all surprisingly basically the same wheelbase, which I found surprising because Kraton advertises itself as a 1/5 scale. So it's not quite 1/5 scale in my book. It's a 1/6 1/2 scale, just because of the width. And then of course, we all know about the motor. The motor is not a 5th scale motor. It's like an X-Max size motor. They use Mod 1 gearing for that, which I find interesting. Everybody's getting aftermarket motor mounts to run proper 58mm 5th scale motors. My only other impressions on this are the body is stunning. Arrma does such a good job with the bodies. You can see how there's 2 different shades of green here, and then the black and white. It's just, man, it looks so good. I just love the way they do it. I do think they over sticker it. I took some of the stickers off the front just because I don't like all that extra stickering. I like the body to speak for itself. So I did get the 1.5, which is great because I want to run this thing stock for a while. I want to experiment with it. I want to try a couple different motors and different pinions and stuff like that. I do have a Mamba Monster 8S that can go in here. I have the 5th scale motor out of my Super Baja Ray. I can try that. That's a 1200 kV. So I can do a bunch of stuff and really have a good time just enjoying this. I don't need to push this thing to the max right away. So that's kind of my plan. But yeah, I like these shorter braces. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the carbon fiber over the top. I might. We'll see if anything bends when I start jumping it. And I really like that steel support brace down there. That's a good addition because people were bending this chassis fairly easily in the first batch. So I'm glad I waited. I did test run this already. You can see a little bit of grass in there. And for a truck this size, it handles amazing. I'm really impressed with the way that it handles. It handles much better than my X-Max. It handles better than my Losi Super Baja Ray. You know, it's not fast, but it's not slow either. I think it's out of the box. People are running at about 38 miles an hour. It's okay. But of course, I'll be pushing it. So I just wanted to do a quick overview of this. And I also wanted to talk about the radios. So let's do that. Alright, here are all the different Arrma RTR radios. So this is the new one, the DX3. This was the one that came with the first version, the DX2E. This is what Arrma's been using on their 6S, the STX2, and then here's the old Tactic, the old tried and true that everybody loves. So everybody loves this because it fits good in your hand. The trigger is nice and firm, and the wheel is firm with foam. So that's why people love this. And of course, the range is good. So this one is the worst, in my opinion, of all of them. It's narrow, the handle's narrow, the spring is super weak, and this wheel is very springy, and there's no foam. The only thing it's got going for it is the throttle limiter. I do like that. I use that for my son, and it has the steering trim. So the DX2E, this one has AVC. But other than that, you can see the handles are the same. The trigger is the same tension, and the wheels are the same. So the only thing this one has going for it is it's got AVC. It also has the throttle limiter, which is nice, and the AVC is nice. So this one is still hooked up to my Super Baja Ray, mostly because I need AVC in the Super Baja Ray because it's solid axle, and it really helps out a lot. If you haven't used it on a solid axle, I recommend trying that. And then, so here's the new one, the DX3. This one, in my opinion, is an improvement over these two. And the reason why that is, you can see this handle is much larger. It fits in your hand better. And this trigger tension is very similar to this trigger tension. I think they're pretty close. This still might be a little bit stiffer, but this has also these little, see if you can see it, the little ridges to help your hand not slip out. That's like the fancier one. That's like the DX5C. So you can see how it probably, I think that's the same handle or the same trigger, and it feels like the exact same tension as the DX5C. So I think they use the same trigger, feels the same, tension feels the same, and I think the wheel, I think it's the same wheel, but the foam is a little bit different. The foam is nicer, and you can adjust the wheel tension on a 5C. That's my only complaint with this, is this wheel tension feels like it's the same springy, maybe a little less, maybe a little harder, a little more tension than these guys. Yeah, but that's my only complaint. Fits much better in the hand. It also has the, if you have the smart technology, it'll read your battery. So if you had a smart battery plugged in, it would read right here, which I don't, but I do have the ability if I want to. It has the same issue though. It has, this says steering rate but AVC, so I have to go through, I know there's a way in the manual I can adjust my steering trim, because right now I can't, not trim, my throttle dual rate. I can't adjust my throttle dual rate right now. It's baked into the AVC, because if I turn this knob it changes the AVC. That was the same problem with this one, but there was a programming procedure where you could set your endpoints. I'm fairly confident when I look through the manual I can figure that out for this one as well, to set my endpoints. It also has this little third switch, so you could probably set up lights for it. And it's an all-around, it's an improvement, which I'm very happy to see, because this radio with the 6S, it's really not adequate. So I'm hoping with future 6S's that they'll come with these. Maybe they can adjust the spring tension on this to make it a little bit stiffer, and then this will be just as good as our trusty Tactic. These are the batteries I got for it. These are Z6500 milliamp 80C. They come with Deans, which is hilarious. So I put the EC5s on there. They're a perfect fit in the tray. I didn't even have to adjust the tray to be any bigger. And I have some pretty high hopes for them. They were very reasonably priced. Both of these shipped was about 150 bucks. So that's pretty cheap for bigger 4S batteries. So these are what I'm running. Alright, so this is its rightful home on the shelf. And I'm really excited to run this thing. I'm going to put the droop screws in it because it doesn't come with any droop screws. And then I will get it out with a running video, doing some light jumping, and just start going through my experience with this truck. So this is a very welcome addition to my fleet, which is, see if we can get a good look at it in the basement here. It's my other shelf with miscellaneous stuff, and this is kind of the shelf with the kits on it, the Mojave and the Super Baja Ray. So we're up to 16 now. And it's a welcome addition, so I'm excited, guys, and we'll catch you next time.